Godly is, Fozey was the more dangerous threat on that team at BCX for a good majority of the day, and then Godly picked it up, and all of a sudden, they were near unstoppable except for Boomy and Snowy. And we're going to start things off here of winners, finals of the first game of the set, and so far we're seeing Cannon come into play once again.
Yeah, Acno sticking with the Onyx seems to be something that he's practiced for specifically this weekend. I think Sparky was talking about how this is his highest Cannon legend is this Onyx, but high defense makes it really, really good for sitting inside the middle of the map.
Yeah, that's kind of where, I mean, Acno's always in the fray, and then Blaze is just that incredible support who you always need. Also, I mean, Blaze is usually the one that's better at the back end for the 2v1s, but that is stocks flying everywhere as Godly and Fozey both removed quickly. They did put a lot of damage on, though, before they got those lost. Yeah,
definitely in the red, and you can see that double uppercut coming out from Fozey to clean that one up. The gauntlet recovery, not quite enough, and Blaze actually thinking his lucky stars that Fozey slide charged that down sig and ended up going too low.
Of course, you got that KO power always available to you. And Godly pulling the Rayman back out here with the Dalsim. It's not too surprising to see it. We were talking about how the danger of seeing everybody with Cross could show up this weekend. We're seeing a lot of Axe as well show up for EU. It's something we were kind of lacking before, and not too surprised to see it show up here.
Yeah, this is kind of the place. If you're going to see an Axe, it's going to be EU. They love their Olgrims, their Brins as well. You're going to see that Ensig actually KO for Fozey there. No, actually, it was Godly who got it.
A quick three-piece lineup right there. The blue team has overall been getting better team combo strings compared to the others, but that defense, we were talking about it before, that Blaze defense in twos is so difficult to deal with. Neutral going to go ahead and set him over on the side, almost catching the Sarah to take that stock.
Yeah, Blaze has insane survivability. Olgrim and Onyx, of course, both have pretty high defense. Fozey trying to negate that a little bit. Cross comes in with a decent amount of strength behind it, and his SIGs do hit hard. You're going to see that recovery actually keep that stock count even.
There we go. We're going to go ahead and get Wrench KO right back. Blaze still holding on to that 2-stock lead, but because of that combo consistency I've seen out of blue team, I could see that disappear pretty quickly. Currently unarmed, gets back in with the Lance to kind of separate them away from Acno.
Yeah, their ability to do combos means that a 1v2 is definitely a real possibility for them if they end up taking out Acno. Acno surviving right now, getting out to the left side, and you're seeing Blaze try to play a little bit more forward as he hits the ground pound, and now it's the red team's turn to go for the 2v1.
That was a really good focus shift right there between the two of them. It's like, okay, you take front, I'm going to go over here. There's no reason for me to try and rush in, lose his stock, and allow them to get that 2v1, and Blaze did exactly what they need to do to deliver. He does lose that one, but they still have the 2v1 at the moment.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there. He held that ground pound for a really long time, tried to get just really far away from Fozey, and Acno didn't want to risk coming in, trying to punish, and end up getting caught by Fozey because he was super far on the right side. So he ended up just doing a weapon toss and backing away. Either way, Blaze had that second stock.
And Blaze catches him on the weapon toss there, and that's going to go ahead and close out the game. Great job not missing the recovery route, and it's still something to be afraid of no matter which way you look at it. I know I've said it bears repeating quite a few people this weekend, but Fozey really is the one you got to keep an eye on so far because you just can't overlook the recent performance at BCX. And here was once again the one who didn't lose his last stock first. Godly did end up losing it first, but once you see Godly start to pick it up, that's where things are going to go south for Acno and Blaze.
Yeah, but on the other side, Blaze putting out 736 damage.
I completely missed that stat. Oh my god.
Swinging, and we're seeing Fozey make the swap over to the Zariel, this kind of pocket pick that we've seen him do really well.
That's actually another thing that showed up. The range coverage that he has on the signature kit really was the biggest thing. Just having to give respect to him desynching at any given point in time. But you have the burst available to you on Olgrim to punish that, so I'm curious how often he'll do it.
Oh, it might just be playing around these team combos right now. He's got those gauntlets, and he's definitely going to be looking for those signatures. Like you said, lots of range on them, those projectiles. And, of course, almost all of them kind of launch forward and down.
Well, Fozey going to get caught by the neutral air. Good punisher from Godly. Can he get anything out of it? The reverse recovery doesn't get knockout, but Acno's just one of the most fearful people to see off stage. It doesn't matter who he's playing.
I love the way Acno played that edge guard against Fozey. Both of them were kind of sweat beating there. Oh, going for another edge guard immediately. But Acno ended up hitting that nair to deny that touch so that he could get that chase dodge up. Nice recovery from Godly. We'll get a stock off the red team.
Godly falls, but that definitely looked a lot better because Blaze is sitting here at that same window. One good straight hit gets rid of Blaze, even game. Currently, Fozey just trying to get. I felt like he was trying to bait him over to the weapon spawn, but never really fell for it.
Yeah, Nado, just one-track minding for that. You saw Blaze again try to go for those weapon tosses to interrupt. One of the safest tools to help save your teammate, but Acno's in trouble.
Oh, Godly just misses the D-like ground pound. Acno trying to make him pay for it too. That was really close to Acno sneaking. Godly sneaking one out on Acno.
Oh man, Blaze again trying to interrupt that one. This one is very even. You can see both teams have one person deep red and one person orangish yellow.
You already know this is exactly what we expect out of these two teams. He's just the greatest core, but Godly falls first there, just missing, but Fozey gets punished anyways. Blaze is gonna get the revenge KO. Yes, he is. And same position as last game, Duke. Blaze sitting at that 2 mark, a very healthy 2-stock as well.
Yeah, credit to Blaze for converting that trade into a 2v1, just completely edge guarding Fozey with those axe down airs.
Right now, everybody is, well, they had a target shift over on the Blaze for a second, but I think, of course, the win con once again. Can we try to get rid of Acno? That's going to lead to pushing Acno off stage. Are they going to be able to get him? That's one.
Acno. Oh, Acno. Blaze trying to help. Acno gets up, but Fozey with the coverage. Blaze still in position. Godly can't hit the downlight, and Acno's going to survive, but it's a trade of Blaze's stock for it.
They were jumping, my boy. Oh, my God. Acno could not get out, and Acno still can't get out, so they were able to, this time, get that 2v1. Now, even with that incredible play Blaze had, it is way more difficult.
Yeah, this is a super challenging 1v2. Not only is it 2 people on the other side, but they're very healthy. Fozey's basically untouched, and the combos...
Oh, just missing out on the dare. Doesn't matter, though. Still gets him punished afterwards. And Blaze just hunting for an opener of any kind, but he's just been weapon starved out. There's nothing he can really do here.
Yo, maybe blue team going to give him the edge guard opportunity. Nope, Godly gets away from that, and Fozey's still covering. Blaze has yet to pick up a weapon for a hot minute, but you can see him trying to take advantage of those little bits of team damage that the blue team's giving him.
Yeah, you saw how he was kind of floating between them, like bait a swing and then move. Get them to keep hitting each other, separate them away from the stage so he could get over to the weapon spot as quick as he possibly could, but it didn't end up leading to that weapon spot grab he's looking for. I think you see right there, hits each other, puts himself in between again, but he already committed to going high. I know for a fact, though, that last game, there's no shot that doesn't end up on like the replay reel later, potentially from Remy. That coverage that they had on the right side of the stage was immaculate. The fact that Acno didn't get knocked out at the bottom and instead got knocked out at the top was credit to Acno's defense, but they had everything covered.
Yo, but look at these graphs. Fozey, his whole third stock was untouched. That's why it looked like he didn't have a third stock, because it never got the damage tick to put it on the graph.
I never got to actually do anything. Well, here we go onto Miami Dome. I'm actually not too surprised we moved away from Apocalypse. I feel like they were, as that game progressed, they weren't utilizing the soft platform the same way they were in Game 1. And they spent most of that time off stage, so you figured new landing options maybe to help get away from some of Zario's plays.
Yeah, the way that Fozey was covering spaces with those signatures, talking about those side sigs on those gauntlets in particular, I can't blame him for wanting to change it up a little bit. And you see an Acno actually change it up over to the Sidra, keeping that cannon from the Onyx.
A lot of Sidra this weekend.
One person.
He's going to be able to get away from him, though. Does not go high early. Fozey just also going back to stage as well. Godly is not going to... He's definitely been picking it up. He's usually been the first one to fall on each stock so far. But that's going to be a Seer that gets rid of Acno first. And also the double KO. So things are starting to slowly creep more and more into blue team, seem like to kind of get in their footing. Yeah,
they're definitely starting to figure out their answers, their responses to the way that the red team is playing. And of course, they're getting more conversions off of those team combos as well.
Good defense again. Godly actually holding on to this first stock for quite some time. Recovery's going to go ahead and take out Fozey. That's going to lead to a knockout right there. So double KO right back from Blaze.
Yeah, good pickup for him. That Lance end line actually getting that KO there. Sidelight side airs Fozey. You can see them hunting for the edge guard there. Fozey actually getting away with the help of Godly, swinging down towards Acno with those down airs.
I also just decided to take a quick look back, by the way, at the last game, and I see a big difference maker. Everybody was above 500, except for Acno, who was at 218.
Yeah, he struggled in the last one.
He is definitely picking up here, at least in this stock. Gonna go ahead and avoid that neutral light, but Acno trying to cover him. Does not get the Seer. Godly just going high. And his defense around the two of them has also been way better in this game. He's still surviving on a second stock.
Yeah, that's a really tough spot to play in. He was on the left side wall going for the 1v2 against Acno and Blaze while Fozey was respawning, and he ended up kind of winning out against them. He was doing damage and getting away with it.
Yeah, which is exactly what you want to see if you're the blue team. You need Godly to be able to get in, sneak in, get those hits, and dip out. And Blaze and Acno, however, they have been hold. All right, so they're going to fold it now, but they held on to those two stocks for a good amount of time, considering how early they lost them.
Yeah, they did a great job getting some damage put out. They need to finish the stock off of Godly if they can. The falling Nair not going to do it. But you can see the second Godly gets launched, both of them try to collapse onto Fozey. They wanted that 1v2, and Fozey went high to avoid it.
Yeah, and I feel like they're not playing as afraid of Lance this game as well, something I noticed. That is going to lead to recovery that gets a knock off the top, though. I think Acno switching over to Sidra was the right call. The cannon is getting some hits in, but the sword has definitely been getting way more done.
Yeah, there's just a lot of consistency behind that sword for Acno. Of course, he's had that time as the Koji as well, so he's definitely got a pocket sword.
Right, Godly and Fozey trying to like suffocate Blaze's movement over there, but Blaze just, it's Axe, so you can kind of swing your way out of that situation, and here goes Fozey falling first, a rare occasion, but if you ever needed someone to possibly make a 2v1 happen, Godly is definitely that guy.
I mean, he's definitely been the hero of the EU region for a long time. He's trying to play this 1v2 out, but Acno catches him. Not quite enough.
Not going to fall just yet. Meanwhile, has to get by the neutral lights of the ledge. Does dodge past everything, and that's going to go ahead and close it out. One singular mistake on the side light, they get the punish. A little bit easier, of course, to get that punish on it now, but Godly was making it difficult for at least a good bit there.
Good recognition from Blaze there on the bounce off of that cannon end light too, so he does a jump side air instead of just going for like a side light side air, expecting it to kind of land down. It's really smart coming out from the red team.
Now, going into the, this is game 4, right? Actually, these games have been going by really quick.
Yeah, I think this is game 4.
Going into game 4 here, what do you think is going to be an approach from Godly and Fozey? Because I feel like, I don't even think Fozey really got figured out, more so that he just didn't do damage that game. But I think the stage, this might be a big solver. They played around him a lot.
The Orion swap, really what it feels like is like game 1, red team had the lead, they took down Fozey early. Game 2, blue team had the lead, they took down Acno early. Game 3, red team takes it back, they took down Fozey early. So if the blue team wants to take the lead, might have to take down Acno early.
Yeah, and you also just, you were mentioning as the game started, I was still chatting there, the Orion swap is here. So definitely away from the Zarya. After putting out 248, it's that time to possibly switch off.
Yeah, totally makes sense. When you do about 200 damage, you're not feeling that character anymore.
Actually, same thing happened to Acno too. That's when the Sidra showed up, and it made a big difference. That is a big punish right there, though. Neutral Sig is not going to allow Godly to get a follow-up punish, but Blaze's defense from the early games, albeit he's still refusing to let go of these stocks as early, he's not sitting there with that 2-stock lead like before.
I mean, you're talking about Blaze's defense, but look at Fozey's health. He's just now ticking into the orange. We're about a minute into this one, and he's still on that first stock. This is what I was talking about. Like, if Fozey can survive, if he can put out that damage, I think things are going to look good for this blue team.
I mean, I don't even lie to you. My brain didn't even register that Fozey was still on his first stock because of how low his damage was. I thought he was on a second stock mentally for a second. But this is what I mentioned before. When Fozey picks it up alongside Godly, he was the biggest threat before. That D-Light recovery won't be enough off the top. But he's still holding on to this first one.
I mean, that D-Light recovery was enough to make Acno scared. You see him playing on this right side wall. Follow-up, though, will put Godly onto his final stock. There's definitely a chance for this red team to win this one out and go into the grand finals.
Absolutely. Like you said, get rid of Godly. Now, all of a sudden, you're in a way better position. You got 4 stocks up, fresh stock for Fozey, and that's going to be Acno falling, though, so we're back to an even game.
Good dodge through from Blaze, recognizing Fozey wants to go for those GCN sigs off the spear down light.
Godly's got to be careful about how he tries to chase. You already know Godly will absolutely chase, especially with Axe, but the thing is that you can't afford to get reversal recovery yourself.
Yeah, I mean, he is definitely kind of the linchpin right now. If he falls, then Fozey won't have that opportunity to kind of play this out. He's going to have to 1v2 as the downlight recovery doesn't hit. It's between Godly and Acno. Who's going to fall first?
It's going to be Godly falling first off the left side, so all of a sudden it's on Godly's hands, Fozey's hands, to try and make this still happen. They have to get this W to force this to a game 5.
He's going to try to win this out. Fortunately, he does have a second stock behind this one, but he needs to take out Acno, and Acno's not giving him any opportunities. He's playing so far to the right side.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a 1v1 game. However, that's going to go ahead and get a step recovery right there, so that forces at least a momentary 1v1. Now, the great defense on Acno, avoiding all of that, getting away from the recovery, and there's Blaze body blocking him too to make sure if he does try to do something, he's going to be the one to take the hit.
Yeah, you can see Blaze doesn't even care about a weapons. Oh, Acno, did he overcommit? The Nair, it's going to help them both get back up safely, the weapon toss. Blaze hits the ground pound, still another stock for Fozey.
Nair definitely helping out Acno a bit longer there, so Fozey still has a shot here. If he could get access to Acno. Acno's taking enough damage, and that is a lance, so at any point in time, he might get caught slipping.
Yeah, Yeah, Acno's playing far and away. Blaze with a great pickup there. That GC downlight getting that extra damage.
Blaze just making sure that he keeps him away as long as possible. Blaze can afford to just fight up close with him right now. It's just an extended 1v1 until you get things like that to get the team combo.
Yeah, got close enough. You saw Acno go in, get that recovery. And Fozey's in trouble. Downlight doesn't hit the ground pound. Acno chases.
Acno's going to go ahead and get back to the stage. Very scary situation, but Neutralite sending him back off. Weapon toss up, forcing him to have to burn his dodge. Because of that, he actually boxes his way out.
Yeah, that recovery ends up giving him a chase dodge, getting back to that wall again, but a side air. And Acno and Blaze are going to win it 3-1 and go to the grand finals.
There was a shift amongst people I saw this weekend who kind of put a few more positions of putting Acno and Blaze back in that first place for EU. Part of that is because of maybe questioning where Godly was after ones, right? You can never question Godly, though. He's that strong. But when you look at how they were able to adjust past them, that was phenomenal. They got a hold of Godly once they saw the lead was big enough. It's like, look, Fozey's defense, fantastic. But look at how quickly Godly's stocks disappeared on that grab. He was gone. Fozey had to fight for a long time by himself.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that basically half the game was without Godly.
Yeah,
and that's such a tough spot to be in. Both like as a player, you're like you hate to like have to sit there and just watch your teammate for a long time, but also like if you're Fozey.
That damage again, they just constantly shifting back and forth between you do 200, I do 200. A big theme of every game's loss really was just that one of the two players only put out about just anywhere near close to 300 damage, mostly because of that early KO that happened on Godly. I think it was stock 2, but still Godly, so you have to expect that he can make a comeback, but they didn't let that happen.
Yeah, they really did a good job of shutting down one of the opponents. And, like, it's one of those things, like...